Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, Dave, it's Mike from West Virginia. I think anybody with common sense can figure out that Jimmy Haslam and Paul DePodesta are the reason for every single problem that we have. So here's what I'm having difficulties understanding. Why are all these sports heads and these fans saying that Andrew Berry should be fired and Kevin Stefanski should be fired when it's obvious to everybody that this whole mess is mainly Jimmy Haslam with Paul DePodesta sprinkled in all over the place on this? Because I'm a big fan of Berry and Stefanski, and I like how Kevin Stefanski's starting to take ownership of the team now and getting more bold with his press conferences.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Tom, when you end up with a season where you're 3-14 and you expected to be in the playoffs, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around.
There is, and you can't fire the owner, right? You're kind of stuck with him, and obviously, he believes in Paul DePodesta, and as I mentioned before, the list of sins, if you will, of the Haslams in their first few years of ownership are well documented, and we could spend 14 hours talking about those. And finally, the Haslams exhibited some patience. Once we got through those tough Hugh Jackson years and 1-31 and all of that stuff, Paul DePodesta comes along. They've made some good moves. They've made some bad ones. It's just kind of been a vicious cycle. And as I've mentioned before, they've had some bad luck on top of bad decisions. And when you have that, you're just going to continue to trip over your own feet. And that's exactly what's happened with the Browns. So I understand with the caller, how he feels. And I do agree with him as well. It feels like Kevin has been a little more, not outspoken necessarily, but a little bolder with, the way he's addressed some of the issues that have, plagued this team over the last year or two. I think Kevin has done a really good job here. I think that goes without saying as far as I'm concerned. And as far as Andrew Berry, listen, the track record in the drafts has not been good. You can go from, right on down the line from, Jedrick Wills to Greg Newsome. Unfortunately, I thought MJ Emerson kind of took a step back this year for whatever reason that I don't know if that was partially due to injuries or not. But there's been some other moves that look good at this point. I mean, you look at the Jerry Jeudy acquisition, which really helped this team this year. Amari Cooper, went from being the number one wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns to not even being on the field for the Buffalo Bills. So certainly the Browns identified something there in terms of making a move to get rid of Cooper at that time. So again, plenty of blame to go around, Dave. I just don't know where, all of it should fall. And, obviously I think the silence by Dee and Jimmy Haslam speaks volumes. I think they understand that, they were the ones behind the Watson move. And as you pointed out earlier, these are 6 degrees of separation to Deshaun Watson with everything that transpired this past year.